Hey, Top Gun Options traders, welcome to today's market sitrep. Market drifting higher today on little volume. Beware of a market that drifts higher on little volume. We're seeing the Dow at a record intraday high. We're up here at 14,674, 675, and the SPOs are up about 10 on what? Essentially nothing. The economic news that came out this morning, really, factory orders were flat, and the market's rallying. Yesterday, I think kind of what we're seeing today is a little bit of a quote unquote relief rally from yesterday's really awful news. It's almost like today's April Fools. Manufacturing PMI, ISM, construction spending, all horrible news yesterday, and the market's rallying. But again, folks, it's on little volume, and it's kind of like a Harrier, the Marine Corps jet. We're just kind of hanging here. We're levitating on nothingness, which is never a good thing. Apple's recovering a little bit today. Gold's taking it on the chin because obviously the market's rallying. So really seeing kind of a bizarre day in the market, but great article in the Wall Street Journal today. Investors ignore negativity at their peril. Long story short, about 86 companies in the S&P have issued negative guidance for what they think they're going to report for the first quarter, and just 24 issued good guidance, positive guidance. That's a 3.58 negative update for every positive one, and that's the highest ratio that they've seen since they've started FactSet. It's called FactSet has been keeping track of that ratio since 2006. So really keep your powder dry. I'm getting ready to we did our weekly options live trade brief this morning at 10 a.m. Getting ready for the primary live trade brief at 1 p.m. where I'm going to go through nice 30, 45-minute strategic mindset discussion, operational mindset discussion, and then get tactical as we add some trades to the model portfolios. But really just a creepy feeling. Even though the market's going up, we know why it's going up, right, folks? We know that the Fed's buying $85 billion a month to prop this market up and essentially create two classes of people in America. The people that can partake in the quote-unquote wealth effect and everybody else. So really, all Bernanke's doing essentially is helping the 1% get 1%er, and the 99% really take it on the chin. Article in the journal about hey, mom and pop are starting to get back into the market. I feel horrible for that, because right about the time mom and pop say, hey, the water's warm, they do the backflip into the pool, and the institutional investors have already pulled the plug and the pool's empty, and you break your neck. So be very, very careful if you're trading this market solo, because there's just a lot going on that's not good. Kind of average news out of China. The Middle East is still an absolute train wreck. Europe, Cyprus is literally imploding under scandal now. The president, of course, took money out of the bank, the finance minister. So again, kind of the one percenters over in Cyprus, and the Russians got their money out, and average people are getting stuck too. So again, market's up today. Hey, great, but not really. It's up on nothing, and I'd be very wary here. And the rest of the week, guys, the flight schedule is very, very interesting, because it's a jobs week. Tomorrow, we have ISM numbers and the ADP jobs numbers, which means what? Well, guess what? That means coming up, we have the regular jobs numbers, right? Weekly unemployment claims. The Fed chairman's going to speak. And then, so on Friday, we're going to be taking a look at non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate. And again, remember, folks, the unemployment rate going down, you really have to be careful trading around the unemployment rate, because if it goes down, it's actually bad news for the market, right? It might be good news for the economy, but it's bad news for the market, because the Fed might end their quantitative easing earlier and call last call, right? But also, the unemployment rate going down isn't necessarily a good thing. Like we saw with the last month's number, it's because more people are giving up, throwing up their hands, and leaving the workforce. That's not a good thing, folks, okay? So yeah, we're rallying today, but I guarantee you we see an up-down week, especially as we get ready to head into earnings, okay? So again, don't trade this market solo. I'm going to get ready for a primary live trade brief where I'm really going to crystallize a lot of what I'm thinking and the trades I'm going to be putting on in our model portfolios here at Top Gun Options, okay? So stand by for an interesting week. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll be back with tomorrow's sit rep.